Welcome back. Well, have you ever logged onto your Facebook or Twitter account to find out that your post received a ton of likes or comments or retweets or other feedback? Be honest, did it give you a rush? Well, scientists are saying that rush is a form of dopamine, a neurotransmitter that helps you control your brain's control centers for reward and pleasure. And dopamine is not immune to the temptations of technology. Nora Volkow, the director of the National Institute on Drug Abuse, told NPR, quote, "Writing a blog that then becomes viral will then hook you to want to repeat that act. That specific experimental story has not been done, but equivalents have actually been shown. The first one was many years ago, in which they had people playing a video game. And when individuals got a point, dopamine got activated, an unexpected reward." Well, this brought NPR reporter Steve Henn to liken our relationship to technology and social media to a lab rat experiment known as the Skinner experiment, which found that when rewards were unpredictable, rats would become obsessed with trying to get more of them. Meanwhile, scheduled rewards would not create that same obsession. So when we refresh our Facebook pages for new likes and comments, are we those rats in Skinner's cage? To discuss that, I'm joined now by Breaking the Set producer Manuel Rapolo and RT producer Rachel Kurzius. Thank you so much for joining me. So are we just a society of addicts here? Do we really need all this dopamine? Manny, I see you playing with your phone.
I'm sorry, what? No. I think so. I don't think there's anything wrong with dopamine. In fact, a lot of what this research was focusing on was video games, was a huge aspect of this. And I think that one aspect of, yeah, we get the feel-good dopamine that comes with playing video games, but it's also kind of a community builder. So I think that when it comes to, certain aspects of whether or not we're addicted to technology, I don't think that technology should necessarily be seen as a way that, like I'm over here, like not paying attention to what you're doing. It's also a way of bringing people together, and I think video games are a good way to bridge that.
Rachel, do you think that we are rats in this social media cage?
Well, I certainly feel like sometimes I personally have very little control over how obsessed I become with things like Twitter and Facebook. Sometimes I'll find myself Ouija typing my way onto Facebook, and I'll be on kind of 2 posts down realizing, how did I even get here? At a certain point, it becomes almost like second nature. So even though it can be a community, I think that it's a zero-sum game here. You can build an online community, but oftentimes that means that you're losing something in real life.
And it's not just the small rewards that we get from Facebook reposts or retweets. I know I love them, but it's also about the sounds that these things make. A ping from your email can be considered dopamine.
Yeah, it's like a little rush down your back. Yeah,
you want to feel loved, I guess. But is it really any different than dopamine surges that we experience in real life?
Right, like from finding a friend on the street or something like that. That certainly can give you a rush. I think that things like Facebook and Twitter have
depends on who you're making friends with.
Right, exactly. It depends on who you find in the street. But I think that it has to do with the way that these sites are engineered in the first place, is to create that sense of gamification, right? Every day in the street you might get a rush, but you're also kind of not expecting anything otherwise. When I have a good Twitter post, for instance, and I think it's really hilarious, and then nobody retweets it, no favorites, nothing, you kind of get that down surge too, which I don't think you get normally walking down the street because you're not expecting anything. So I think that just like there are some studies showing that Facebook can actually make you more sad in the long run. It's like we're getting these nice boosts, but then there's a downswing as well.
And Manny, she just mentioned it, the downsides of it. I mean, the experts that were talking to NPR said that it's like drug abuse. So there's definitely downsides, right?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I actually don't see this as a downside. I think that, especially if you look at the study was suggesting that people like to talk about themselves. People talk about themselves all the time on Facebook. That itself gives you this sense of that little extra boost of dopamine. Every time that you make a status update about what you had for breakfast or whatever, that's a positive point. And I guess that speaks volumes to how popular Facebook and Twitter are globally. I mean, we're talking about millions and millions of users. So I don't think that it's necessarily a bad thing. I think that, yes, we should maybe take a couple of hours out of the day beyond what we're sleeping to disconnect from the virtual world. But I think that ultimately it's a positive thing, and it's good for people.
However, Manny, you have to admit that it could be abused, right? I mean, we could see advertisers using these things to get people to come in. Obviously, Twitter isn't really profiting off of you getting retweets, but if you're given a certain reward, that could be a downside.
Or, Facebook profits every time people spend significant amounts of time on the website in the first place. So certainly they're taking advantage of the fact that we feel so good connecting with people.
So interesting.
And we think that it's free, but really we're the commodity if you look
Right.
at it. We consider things like Twitter and Facebook as being free, but we're being data mined. It's our information that's valuable to them. Everything we like, everything we click on, everything else that we see, and I mean, essentially we're the commodities here.
And apparently so is our dopamine and our feel-good feelings. Breaking the set, producer Manny Rapolo and RT producer Rachel Kurzius. Thank you so much.